Hey everyone, Grimmy Dragon here. And 2022 was quite a ride, wasn't it? Some good, some bad, and what was good and bad depends on you, really. But right now, let's focus on some of the good toys that we've gotten over this year. We've got plenty of decent figures, lots to talk about, and I want to give you my top 10 list of action figures for 2023. But before we get to the top 10, let's get into the honorable mentions. Starting with Marvel's Quake, which I don't really have an attachment to the character, but it is a nice army builder type body, and it comes with a Maria Hill head. You can just get a bunch of these, make them female shield agents, put some different heads on them if you'd like. Plenty of options, really good. Something small, but nice. The next honorable mentions would be Spirit and Storm Shadow from G.I. Joe Classifieds. And the reason they're not on the top 10 list, they actually tie with the G.I. Joe figure I did put on the list, but can only pick one, and I wanted to give that one some love. So these two awesome figures. Love the eagle that came with Spirit, and Storm Shadow's a really cool ninja. So yeah, they're here. And then we got to get into Transformers. Of course, we got to get into Transformers. This channel is mostly Transformers. So we got Ironhide from Studio Series. Really good figure. Not quite screen accurate, but I'm not sure how you do it. And this is a big improvement over the Earthrise version. And then there's, of course, Wild Rider, my favorite Stunticon, my favorite Decepticon of all time, but I couldn't put him on the list. The figure isn't quite top 10 worthy. Let's face it, some people would actually put it on their top 10 disappointments. I think Perspective End did that. So, yeah. But the one surprise that I had over this year, and that was recently, was the Fortnite figures. I picked a couple up wanting some street clothes characters, and I was surprised by how good they were. They are really nice, very posable. They work great for civilians, at least some of them do. So it would be worthwhile to pick a few up, and you could get some oddballs to go with your regular heroes or G.I. Joe guys or whoever. But enough of the honorable mentions. Let's get into the actual top 10. All right, so as always, these are just my opinions. I know I'm going to be raked over the coals for some of them, but keep in mind, this is my list. Anyway, for the number 10 spot, it's going to surprise people, but yeah, this is Apocalypse from the Retro series for Marvel Legends. And it was very closely competing with number 9. And I'll get into why when we get to that particular figure. But yeah, this guy's really good. I like the presence. He's big, bulky, and he looks really cool. And, Apocalypse was one of my favorite villains from the X-Men animated series. So, and this is the animated version. So yeah, I'm happy with him. He's well articulated, at least well enough. He's not the most mobile of Marvel Legends figures, I'll say that much. But he's still pretty good, and I'm quite happy with him. So number 9 is Mum-Ra from the Super 7 Thundercats series, and I'm sure that's going to turn some heads, because a Super 7 toy just topped a Marvel Legends. And I know people don't really like Super 7 all that much, but let's face it, Mum-Ra has a lot of presence to him. He looks awesome. Not perfectly accurate, but he does the job well enough, and I like it. And as far as articulation goes, he's on par with Apocalypse. Let's face it. I'd say Apocalypse has, one more knee joint than Mum-Ra? That's it. And Mum-Ra has him beat on accessories. So you got Mamut, you got the Sword of Plundar, you got the gyroscope controls, an extra head, the cape. And Apocalypse only has the extra head, extra hands, and a gun. That's it. So yeah, Mum-Ra wins this one. Sticking with Super 7, number 8 is the glow in the dark Muckman that was New York Comic Con exclusive. And like Mumra, he has a huge presence about him. He is gigantic, well sculpted. I mean, there's a ton of sculpted detail on him. Not as much painted as the original version, but that's okay because he's all glow in the dark and he has his slime features intact. Joe eyeballs there. I love the silver on the trash can, the muck gun, and his sewer lid. And that glow. Oh, that glow. You put him in a shadow, he starts to glow green. This guy is the best glow in the dark figure I have ever held. I can't believe how good he does at glowing in the dark. I mean, this one, Super 7 has had some flops with glow in the dark figures. Those foot soldiers, I like them, but they do not glow very well. Toxie doesn't really glow very well. Mumra and Mutagen Man glow fine, but Muckman, oh boy, yeah, I'm getting flustered here. He is awesome. I love this guy. I just love this guy. Now, number 7 is the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series Usagi Yojimbo, who is a spectacular figure. Very poseable. I kind of wish he had butterfly joints, but other than that, he works great. And the accessories are also really good. You got his swords in the sheath and the little strap that holds it on his waist. You got this really nice cloak and an alternate head with alternate ears. And you could swap the ears between the two heads. That's awesome. And it just looks great. I'm very pleased with this guy. He poses wonderfully. He's an essential character for any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection because the episodes he shows up in on the 80s series, the 2003 series, they are golden. I love this guy. I really wasn't planning on getting any of the Masterverse figures. I had no interest in Revelations, and it just didn't look like it was for me, especially with the classic figures I have already. And I love those guys. But the New Eternia line, especially New Eternia Skeletor, changed my mind on that. And he's number 7 for a reason. He's really good. He gives that MYP He-Man feel. He's got the bare feet that have all the toes. He's got this really nice skull head sculpt. And I do like the helmet it has as well with the Demo Man beard. That's pretty cool. His cape is interesting. I like how well it clips on, though. That's cool. And I just wish he had the twin swords instead of this scimitar from Demo Man. But all in all, he is really good. He's a nice, fresh new take on Skeletor that does pay homage to the original designs and some of the redesigns that came after. So I'm pleased with him. So on to the top 5, and we're starting off with the Power Rangers Cross TMNT Green Ranger Shredder. And oh yes, this is an awesome figure. I love the way that the Green Ranger look has been integrated into the Shredder's design. Those golden spiked armor pieces, the claws, the way the head evokes the 2003 look of the Shredder with those red eyes, that vicious demeanor. It just works. I like the way the sash has the Morpher on it, just to look like the Dragon Coin is the symbol of the Foot Clan. Kind of wish they painted the dragon symbol red, though. But yeah, the power armor is nice. Wish that had some spikes because the spiked shoulder pads don't show under the cape. But all in all, I'm very happy with this guy. He's just awesome. I like the effects, the slashing effects for his claws. That's cool. It works. It works for the Shredder. I'm sure you're still wondering who beat out Spirit and Storm Shadow. And after a very close race, it was Outback. But honestly, any one of the 3 could have won the number 4 spot on this list. They were just that good. But Outback, I like the grizzled old man. It is actually a really nice look for a figure. I like the Tiger Force emblem on his shirt. the combat fatigues. It looks really nice. I like this whole survival expert gimmick to him. I'm very pleased with him. That's it. I'm just very pleased with him. And G.I. Joe has awesome articulation. Any one of those three figures I mentioned here would be perfect for that. And yeah, he's good. The only complaint I have about Outback is his gun because that strap kind of interferes with the weapon storage. Other than that, awesome. Just love it. Taking the number 3 spot is Zesray's Combatants Fight for Glory Tadala figure. And thank you, Articulated Ninja, for pointing this figure out to me because this is an awesome female figure. One of the best I've ever held onto, honestly. I love it. She is gorgeous. I only wish I could get a hold of her sisters and multiples because they are that good. It's a shame that they're so hard to get a hold of. Hopefully, Zesray will reissue these very shortly and very often. But yeah, she is gorgeous. All her joints are buttery smooth. So you can get her to any pose you want easily. The only ones that are firm are her ankles, and that will help her stand very well. She's got a nice set of accessories. I love the bow and arrow. The bow actually launches those arrows very well, surprisingly enough. The sword's nice. I like that all the armor is removable. That is awesome. It's a nice detail. And yeah, she is quite anatomically correct underneath. I can't show you too much, but I'll try to put something out with some modesty protection tape over her so we can actually get this on there safely. But yeah, she is quite beautiful. I love the hair piece that will enable her to put her helmet on easily. Just swap out the hairpiece, put the helmet on. You've got a little bit there. That is something that needs to be adopted by every action figure creator out there. Hey, Bobby Valla, use this for your Action Force line going forward. This is a great idea. Adopt it. So anyway, I do think she is awesome. I love it. And I want more for this line. I want more females from this line. So yeah, moving on. It's funny I mentioned Bobby Valla and Action Force in the last entry because the number 2 entry goes to the Action Force Spec Ops Trooper. Yeah, the Army Builder. It's my first taste of Action Force, and I just got it like maybe a week or two ago. So it is very fresh, very new to me still. But I love this figure. And yeah, this is the reissue that came with the gun, not the original version that didn't come with a gun back, I guess, late last year. So yeah, this counts. I'm counting it. But all in all, I do like this figure. I really like it. It is super posable. I mean, G.I. Joe is supposed to be this hyper-articulated line, but Action Force just took a dump on G.I. Joe because this is so posable. You can get him into just about any pose very easily. I mean, he can kick higher than anything the G.I. Joe guys could do. And that is just impressive. You can move his torso every which way but loose. Like, he's got waist, he's got diaphragm. I mean, he can arch his back like almost a full 90 degrees here. That is just inhuman. And yeah, bending over. All in all, this guy is just amazing. And all the joints are so smooth, so awesome. I mean, even Tadala would have some trouble matching up with this. But yeah, this is amazing. I love this Army Builder. And yeah, you got to get some of the add-on kits for these guys, but it is just amazing. I love it. I just love it. I know I've said that just about everything, but that's why they're on this list, because I love these figures. I guess it was about time we got to number 1, and it's more of a personal entry, so let's get to it. Now, 2022 just brought us a lot of really nice figures, and a lot of them made me really happy to get a hold of, but none have quite made me as happy as Transmetal 2 Megatron from the Transformers Legacy line. And the main reason for that is because I've been wanting the original version of this figure for a long, long time. Like the original Transmetal 2 Megatron from Beast Wars. That was kind of a grail piece for me. And I still want it, but this guy fills the void quite well. He doesn't have the chrome, but that's okay. He still looks awesome. I love that dragon mode. I mean, dragons are awesome. It's just something that I always liked. I mean, I always liked dragons. So, yeah, having this dragon former is very satisfying. And yeah, the dragon mode looks great. I love the red. I love the translucent wings, how they fold out. That is just gorgeous. The transformation isn't too hard. It does the job quite effectively. And the robot mode is menacing. It's intimidating. It brings out that Beast Wars show so well. I'm not sure what they were thinking about the teeth on his robot mode head, but other than that, it is great. I love it. I like the little fire effect he has. And I'm kind of looking forward to the DNA Designs upgrade kit because this is an awesome figure on its own. So an upgrade kit for an awesome figure will make it even more awesome. But yeah, I don't need that kit to feel happy about this Megatron, though. It is just great. It does everything I want it to do. It really looks awesome. I know I've said awesome a few dozen times already, but well warranted. So I love it. I just love this guy. And he's posable. I mean, he's not as posable as the Action Force or Combatants or G.I. Joe or any of them, but he's posable enough. I mean, that dragon neck is on a ton of ball joints, and all in all, he just looks great. He just makes me happy. This is what it's all about, making the person happy, and Megatron does it. So, yeah. Anyway, that does it for this list. What did you guys think? What was your top 10 for 2022? What was your number one for 2022? Feel free to put it in the comments below. Also, leave a like, subscribe. That always helps the channel out. Interacting is great. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, and hopefully it won't be too long this time. But take care until then.